We're now joined by Dominic Franco, who had a contract offered to him by the Rochester Americans, the AHL affiliate of the Buffalo Sabres. Dom, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks for having me on.
Start by taking me through the process and how this contract kind of came to fruition and how you were able to get the offer from the organization.
Yeah, towards the end of the season, obviously the way our season ended kind of left a bitter taste in myself and the rest of the guys on my team. Kind of in the weeks following after our season was ended, a few teams had reached out to Coach Riley and Coach McKelvey, and we knew there was some interest. And eventually I was able to talk with one of the assistant GMs for the Sabres and the head coach Taylor at Rochester. And after talking with them, I really kind of just fell in love with their program and kind of their development strategy. And I'm really thankful that it all worked out.
Rochester and Buffalo areas you're very familiar with during your hockey career at West Point, playing RIT in Rochester, going up to Buffalo to play Niagara and Canisius. How's that going to help being familiar with those areas in Buffalo where the Sabres are located and Rochester where the Americans are located?
Yeah. Rochester is it's a really cool city. I mean, most of the East Coast guys grew up playing there. They got one sheet up there. It has like 8 rinks, so that was where there was always one big tournament growing up. But it's a really cool city, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And I think it'll be cool to kind of live in like a city type atmosphere. And obviously, they get great support, so it'll be very similar to what we had at West Point with the great support we had for Army hockey. So I'm excited.
You had a great career at West Point, and you've learned a lot of things as a member of the Army hockey team and as a cadet at the United States Military Academy. So what are some of the lessons that you are going to be able to take away from your time at West Point and apply them to the next step in your life?
Yeah, obviously, beyond just Army hockey and just West Point in general, it's just like the commitment it takes. At West Point, they ask a lot of you, and at the level of hockey that I'm transitioning now to, it's obviously different, but that same expectation is much higher than like you would generally assume for hockey players. So just kind of matching that commitment level needed to A, excel, and B, be the best I can up there is kind of what I take away from Army hockey.
Well, 4 years as an Army hockey player, you have plenty of memories, but what are one or two memories that stick out as your time when you were an Army hockey player? You started off your freshman year playing a game in Fenway Park, that sweep up at Air Force, the run to the semifinals. Is there any one or two memory that sticks out?
I'd say the first one I would say would have to be either my freshman or sophomore year where we broke the streak against Air Force. I think it had been 5 or 6 years, and for us new guys, like we knew the rivalry, but we hadn't really lived it yet. And especially after losing in playoffs to them, it kind of jolted us into the rivalry, and just being able to sweep them for the first time in a long time was really special. And you could see it. You could see we got texts from old grads who came through Army hockey, and just seeing like what it meant to the older guys was really special. And I think that carried through, and that's what always made that rivalry so special. And obviously, the second one, I'll probably have to go back to Air Force again. Probably the most exciting game I've ever played in was the this year, that 9-round shootout. That was probably one of the funnest hockey games I've ever been a part of. It was just a classic matchup for us against them, low scoring. And then, of course, in the shootout, both goalies kind of stood on their head, and luckily Kev was able to tuck one for us.
Well, Dom, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes today. Congratulations on getting the contract offer from the Rochester Americans, and good luck over the next couple of weeks as you're about to graduate from the United States Military Academy.
Yeah, thank you, Zach.